Hello Libra, welcome to your bonus reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. An Eight of Pentacles. This is such a calm and peaceful card. I feel like you are in a very steady energy. I feel like you are, you've been very consistent. You've been tending to the garden day after day, diligently, with love, right, with care, with no expectations, just doing the work. Yeah. I feel like you're someone who is, you're very attentive, right? You pay attention to the details. I feel like you're someone who gives very good gifts to people because you pay attention. You see other people and what they're doing and what energy they're expressing, what their needs are, what their wants are. And then you're able to respond to that. You're a nurturing person. Okay? I think that there was a time in your life where you were nurturing others more than you were nurturing yourself. I feel like you're in a mode of self-care right now as well. But it's not like the pendulum has swung to the opposite side where we were so concerned with other people but not ourselves. Now I'm so concerned with myself but not other people. I feel like you're right smack dab in the middle where you have just such a symbiotic relationship with the world, where you're taking care of others, you're being taken care of, you're focusing on your needs and the needs of your family, your friends, your loved ones, maybe at work, at home, at school. And I feel like you're really, you're pushing roots down into the earth. You're establishing yourself in a realm of health and prosperity, right? Maybe it's time that you start enjoying the fruit of your labor too. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, shall we? Let's see what's going on here. Got a 4 of Wands. We've got a 10 of Wands. We've got a 9 of Swords. A 5 of Cups. And a 5 of Wands too. A lot of fire energy here. And I think that, well, with the 4 of Wands here, I feel like a big move's coming pretty soon for you. I feel like you're closing down a cycle of things. And maybe what we're doing here is we're going from a 9 of Swords into a 5 of Wands, right? And that's the sort of transition. It feels like a karmic cycle is ending for you in your life. I feel as if the 9 of Swords back here is probably when you weren't taking care of yourself so much. And you were focused more on other people, right? And perhaps it's saying that, look, we're sort of moving beyond that. We're getting off that sort of roller coaster, right? And we're focused on the self-care. Maybe you're focused on healing. Maybe this is, well, it could be physical, mental, emotional healing. But I feel like there is something that's coming to a conclusion for you. There's something that's coming to a natural end. It's kind of like you're looking at your watch and you're thinking, oh, I've got to go, right? Where are you going? That's what I'm wondering. The 5 of Wands in your future is showing that you are moving forward. You are reaching out for something in your life, okay? And we got a 5 of Cups at the top too, which I think is kind of it's a realization that, okay, you know what? I'm realizing that I'm not so, I'm not going to say that we're unhappy. We're realizing that there's something more out there for me. And so we're turning 5 of Wands and we're going to start reaching out. Okay? Now, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Let's put the rest of our cards on the table. The Death card. The Prince of Swords. the Wheel of Fortune, and a Knight of Cups. A Knight of Cups. The Nine of Cups is very interesting because it is that we're sort of looking to the future in this emotional way. We're looking at our emotional future. What is the dream life for you? What does a happy life look like for you? Because the Five of Cups here at the top, it's not really an unhappy life. But this is the life that says, there's something missing. It's like we're eating a meal. We're having a bowl of gumbo, right? You know, some people don't like my food analogies. I just thought I'd mention that. We're eating a bowl of gumbo, but it's just like, it's missing something. What is it? What is it that's missing? I mean, this is good. It's a good gumbo. I like it. But maybe we're feeling like, I've made the gumbo the same way for a while now. And now I need that little something extra. Now I want to find that little secret ingredient that's going to make it extraordinary. That's going to make it unique. Maybe that's your signature secret ingredient, right? And I think that's what the Knight of Cups is out there looking for, questing for. This is a Knight of the Holy Grail, right? Questing after that secret ingredient for life. And maybe it's a sense of purpose. Maybe this is just like life is good now, but it feels as if it's the flavor. It's missing a little something, a little spice, maybe a little heat, a little acid, maybe a little sweetness. Okay, only you know what that is anyway. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and maybe this will be the secret ingredient. We're going to put Dwight K. Schrute right on top. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. We're not going to look at that card until the end, okay? But it will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments, okay? Now, Spirit's saying there's something about an unfair decision that's happened in here. There was something that happened, and maybe we're talking Nine of Swords back here, but there was an unfair decision in your life. And perhaps that kind of, perhaps it has to do with a romantic relationship. Perhaps it has to do with a business thing, a work thing, a friendship. But something caused the Nine, something caused this despair. And it feels like it was an unfair thing. And maybe that Eight of Pentacles is then, we're just sort of healing. I'm doing me. I'm getting back into the swing of my life. I'm doing the self-care. I'm doing the healing. You know, I'm focusing on just my friends, my family. And maybe now it's like, okay, now maybe I'm ready for the romance again. You know, because I feel like you're sort of, you've recovered from whatever this, I don't feel like an unfair decision. Like maybe someone broke up with you, maybe you were let go of a job, maybe something happened that kind of put you in this, you know, sleepless nights. Right? And then the Eight of Pentacles happens, and we focus on our routine. I'm focusing on my work, my schedule. I feel like you're probably an early riser. You probably wake up with the sun, if not before. You probably have a special drink that you use. I feel like you do. You have a special coffee mug, right? It's not a little tiny one. It's like one of those big, like a big one, like a wide sort of big latte mug kind of thing. So I feel like you're before the sun or with the sun, and you have that routine, you know, and then you either put the music on, or I think maybe you put on the news or something. And then you start picking up the house, you start getting ready, you start cleaning up, and then, you know, maybe there's an exercise routine, and then we sort of begin the day. But I think that you have these little rituals in your life, you know, especially the waking up early morning, I think is so important. Okay? I think there's something about sunrise and sunset that are magical times. They're the in-between states, you know, the in-between moments where it's not nighttime, it's not daytime. It's not yesterday and it's not today yet either. It's in this infinite kind of nowhere place where the magic happens, you know? And I think that's why I used to always like meditating in the early morning. Before sunrise, I would meditate. And as I'm rising up from my meditation, the sun is rising too, you know? Very magical time. And I think that you're very connected with that. Okay? But I feel like now there is this perception that something's sort of missing. There's this sweetness that I need in life now. The gumbo's good, but I want that secret ingredient. And this could be, I feel like this was the unfair thing. It might have been some very harsh criticism. It might have been, it could have been a bad breakup. It could have been a falling out with a friend. It could have been a family thing, right? And it's you're sort of reeling from that. And we're in that Eight of Pentacles, sort of getting back into the swing of things, getting back into the routine, doing the self-care stuff. And the Four of Wands now becomes a closure. It's kind of like saying, okay, I went through my Nine of Swords. I did the Eight of Pentacles. Now that phase of my life is coming to an end. And I've got to understand what's coming next now. You know, maybe the Eight of Pentacles is kind of like a sabbatical. You know, we're focusing on the self-care. I'm going to do me. I'm going to heal, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. And now I'm recognizing that I need something more in my life. I need something else, something in a sort of, I need to make progress, right? And so we're ready to sort of get back out there. Yeah. Because we can't linger in the self-care. That sabbatical energy anyway. Now, self-care is something that has to be ongoing, lifetime of self-care, right? But if we're having that kind of a sabbatical as a, let's say, a response, as a time of healing from something, right? Let's use a physical thing for an example. You injure your leg, right? Okay, something happened, you hurt your leg, it's painful. You got to stay home, you got to stay in bed, you got to elevate the thing for whatever they say, what is it, 6 weeks or something, right? For a broken, long bone. It takes a while to heal. And so your life has become different. You've gotten into a different routine. Now you're in this routine that's sort of centered around healing this injury. And that's become the focal point of life, and your routine is sort of revolving around that. Taking care of the leg, right? You got to do what the doctor says. But then once the leg feels better, the cast comes off, it's like, okay, now I'm ready. What do I want to do? Do I want to start running? Do I want to start bicycling? Like, what is my life going to be? We're going to get back to work. We're going to get back to doing kind of what we do. And maybe we're wondering now, what is my life going to revolve around? What is my core purpose? What is my work now? Because I was healing the leg, now the leg's healed. What am I going to do? Where do I go? We could go back to the same thing we were doing before. But I don't feel like you're doing that. I feel like this has changed you in kind of a fundamental way, where now it's just like, I don't want to go back to what I was doing before the injury. I have a new yearning, a new passion for something. Right. I think the Ten of Wands here underneath the surface is kind of saying that you're all out of steam for what came before. You're not willing to do the same thing that you were doing. Okay. The 10 is this fiery energy, this consciousness, this awareness, this attention, this focus, this creativity that's gone so far away from the source, right? The 10 is at the extreme end. You got the ace over here, the 10 over here. So far away from where it began, I don't even remember why I'm out here anymore. You know, we've strayed so far from our core purpose that it's just like, I don't remember what the purpose was. I don't remember why I was even doing that. Yeah. And in some ways, it's connected with that Nine of Swords. Okay. And it might be this idea too. Let's say you injured your leg mountain biking, right? It could happen. Now we've healed, but now we've gotten so far away from that purpose. So it's just like I don't feel that anymore. If I am out here on mountain biking, it's just like I don't know why I've forgotten why I'm here. Okay. So we are sort of looking to connect with something new, looking to connect with a purpose, a reason, a purity. We need another ace, is what we need, right? Because the 10 has gotten so extreme now. We've been out here for so long doing that same old thing We kind of got lost a little bit. And maybe this is the idea, too, that we've been in sort of this position for a while, that we've lost the connection with our core purpose. We've lost connection with our sort of core spiritual identity. I've been so focused on healing the leg that now, who am I? What am I doing? Why am I here? Yeah. And that is confirmed by this Ten of Wands. Now, the Five of Cups up at the top is definitely an awareness that something should be here, but it's not. You're eating the gumbo, it's like, it's missing something, but I can't quite identify it yet. But I know it's not there. I don't know what it is, but I know it's not in here, you know? And so, this is that feeling where it's just like, okay, I've got this urge to do something. I know that there's something that my soul wants to connect with. There's something that I'm after out there. It's really the Holy Grail. The Knight of the Holy Grail is searching for what? The Grail, the Ace of Cups, right? So we know that we're looking for that ace. We don't know exactly what it's going to be and what it's going to do and what it will unfold and what it will become, what it will develop into. But we know that we don't have it now. And so we're looking for Five of Wands, new activities. We're doing new things. We're putting our effort into other stuff. So I feel like moving forward in the next few days, you're going to be reaching out of yourself to other things, other people, other places, other beliefs, other habits, other hobbies, right? This is a change of your focus. All of the fives indicate change. What we have here is a 4 and an 8, even numbers. They represent states of things, right? States of healing, states of rest, yeah. States of closure, conclusions, right? It's just sort of an end state. But we have a 4 and an 8. And even the 10. The 10 is kind of like, I've stopped. I've been out here for so long carrying this big bundle of wands, right? All this weight. And now it's just like, okay, I'm here. What am I doing? I don't remember where I'm going. I don't remember where I came from. I'm just out here carrying this big burden, and I don't remember why. So what we need then is something different. We need activity. We need odd-numbered cards, right? So we have 3 even numbers, and it happens that we have 3 odd-numbered cards, okay? And I think this is a situation that we couldn't tolerate anymore. And maybe this was, maybe this was not so much a breakup. Maybe this was you being treated very unfairly, treated harshly, and you decided to say, hey, I don't know why I'm still here. I don't remember why I'm not connected with that purpose anymore. Maybe this was the mountain biking. Maybe this was the relation. Maybe this is the friendship. And I don't know why I'm here anymore. But something prompted that. Okay, there was an activity, there was a function, there was some movement that prompted this state. Okay? And just as we see here with the fire and earth, that now this state that we're in, we're now looking for movement to go beyond that. Okay? And we even have a 5 and a 4 here. This feeling is what's prompting us to sort of wrap up the current circumstances that we're in, if this is a period of healing or of rest or of the sabbatical, the recuperation or the repair of ourselves, whatever it is. That 5, the motion here of our feelings, our taste buds, right? Something's going on here. There's some movement that's making me realize that, okay, I've been in this state and I've got to do something about it. I don't want to just remain here. It's supposed to be temporary anyway, especially the 4s. The 4s are always supposed to remind us of the impermanence of something. But if we've gone from a 4 to an 8, kind of seems like, okay, we've overstayed our welcome here. It's high time we get a move on, If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Right, supports the channel, and I appreciate that. Your general energy is, of course, the Death card. slow and steady change over the course of time. And you're someone who is always focused on growth. You're somebody that knows that, well, it's interesting too, because the growth sort of happens in those restful states. The movement is what is sort of, is the catalyst for the growth, right? You think of going to a gym. It's not the lifting of the weights that makes you stronger. That's just the means to the end. That's just the catalyst. And then when you rest, that's when you grow, right? And so the lifting of the weights, that's the stimuli. And then the response is, of course, the growth that takes place in these states, in these restful states, in the even-numbered cards, that sort of thing. And so we realize that we need this sort of, we need the stimulation. We need the Five of Cups. We need the Five of Wands. We got to go after, and we've got to go hunt for that Ace of Cups, for that Holy Grail. We've got to go a-questing in life. Okay? And I think you're ready for whatever quest is coming next for you. And I think that it's going to be the catalyst. It's going to be the stimuli that's going to cause more growth, And even in something terrible like a Nine of Swords, that's really painful stimuli. I mean, it looks painful, right? Very painful stimuli. But you know what? It's fostering growth. It was the catalyst for growth. And now you've grown from that, you've healed from that, and now it's time to go in search of whatever's coming next. And that's sort of how we continue to make progress over time. It's through the interplay of opposites. Rest and activity, rest and activity. Lifting weights and then the day off. Lifting weights and then the day off. It's through that binary ebb and flow, the yin-yang, that progress, that life, that change, that the world, the universe, that existence continues and evolves slowly over time, right? Everything is a yin and a yang, right? And that's the even and odd numbered cards. And your next card is some more air energy. It's a Prince of Swords. It's fixed air, right? This is a belief that's unshakable, right? So even in these painful, with the painful stimuli, you're not losing hope. You're not losing your belief in other people. You're losing your belief in the world. I feel like you still have a very, like I said at the beginning, you still have this energy that is, you're taking care of other people. You're taking care of yourself. You still have a bond and a commitment with the world around you. It hasn't soured you to relationships. You have a falling out with a friend. It doesn't mean that now you have issues with all your friends, right? You have a bad relationship. You ended up breaking up with somebody. It doesn't mean that you're never going to fall in love again. It may be that you need a little time to recover before you're ready for another one, You injure your leg mountain biking. It doesn't mean that you're never going to ride a bike again. It doesn't mean that you're never going to use your knee ever again because you're scared of hurting it again. That you're not going to run and jump and play or ride a bike or surf or do any of those things. No, it's you still have this belief. You still have this. You realize that you can't generalize from the one to the many, from the particular to the general. You can't paint with such broad strokes. Okay, the Nine of Swords is a painful stimuli, but not all stimuli is painful. Okay, at least not in the same way. Yeah, and so this is this is in terms of your relationship with the environment, with other people, with the world around you. Okay, you still have a very connected energy, and I think that you're someone who really. Well, of course, Libra, it's one of your sort of, I guess, stereotyped qualities, but your ability to get along with people, your ability to build rapport, to build relationships, to bond with others. Okay? So Nine of Swords, it didn't ruin that for you. It didn't totally demolish your ability to connect with people. Okay? Maybe that you've taken a time out, but I kind of feel like we're ready for it again. Yeah. And now the next card is very cool. It's the Wheel of Fortune. It's in the position of the obstacle, right? Because in some ways, the Four of Wands, it's a wheel, but this represents human time. That I'm going to have closure on my terms, that I'm going to do things in my own timeline. When I'm ready to get back to the world, I will. When I need more time to myself, I'm going to take it. I do things on my schedule. Okay, this is human time. This is divine time. This does not care what our human schedule is. This is going to win every time, right? And I think that's something that we all have to come to terms with because, very often it's just we sort of are asking, can I have more time? Can I have more time? Can I have more time? And Spirit says, no, this is the moment, right? And this is something that I think you're beginning to sort of adapt yourself to. I feel like you're sort of synchronizing your watch with Spirit. You know what I mean? That when Spirit says it's time for you to get back on the horse or the bicycle, you're kind of saying, I'm ready. Yeah, it's time. You're in sync with the universe. This is Spirit's timepiece. This is the cosmic wristwatch. I'm not wearing my watch today. And so you're in sync now. And when you're in sync, you're experiencing more synchronicities. Those meaningful coincidences where your time, your human time, is sort of strangely matching up with the divine time, and it's like you're hitting all the green lights. That somehow you driving the car the way you're driving the car is sort of hitting the timing of all the streetlights. Like what? That's what we're doing here. And it's not something we can try to do. It's just something that happens, and we know that's when we're in the flow. You ever had that experience when you're driving in the car and you're not really trying to do anything, you're not forcing anything, and maybe that's part of our Five of Wands here is learning to not really try. Maybe this is very wu-wei. We're not really striving, we're not fighting, we're not trying to force anything, we're just being really kind of chill, And we're just driving. I'm not trying to force anything, just driving. And then, there's a green light ahead of you. And it's just like, wow, it stayed green, Or you're driving and there's a red light. And then you just keep going. It turns green for you. Like, wow, okay. Like I'm in sync with the street lights. I don't know how that happens. I don't know the technology behind it. But you're just you're going with the flow. You're not trying to, I better step on the gas. I'm driving all aggressively, or, you're just you're in the zone, you're in the flow. Yeah. Syncing up with the world. I think that's great. And I think what the time is, it's time for you to find your next quest. It's time for you to go out there and find the purpose and find the meaning of your life right now. Find out what that spice is that you're missing, what that secret ingredient is that you need right now. Also, Spirit's telling me something about broken glass. You had a window that broke, or it was like a glass table or something. Some glass thing is broken recently for you, yeah? Sometimes these details come in and they don't really pertain to the reading necessarily. Maybe they do, but it's just a way of confirming the energy that we're in. If it's not meant for you, just leave it for the next person, It could be that you're working on some sort of home improvements and things as well in your life. That we're fixing things up around the house, yeah. But now it's time for adventure. Right? It's time for us to go on this quest. And it feels like it's of an emotional nature. Okay. It feels like we are identifying sort of this need for whatever's missing. Right? Because the knight is always looking at the future. I want that happy life. I got to go out there and look for it. I got to get it. I got to find that Ace of Cups. It's like the Holy Grail. It's going to transform your life. Also, there's some group thing around you too. I feel like you're about to be, you're meeting up with a group, or maybe there's a group event, or you're going to be invited somewhere, or you're going to be accepted into a group. There's something about you joining a group of people Yeah. Let's look at our mystery card here. Okay. Obviously, I want this to be either I think water. Yeah, I think water is what we need. An ace would be obviously perfect. A 3, 6, 9, or 10 of cups would also be pretty perfect. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Here we go. A Knight of Swords. Well, this happens to be your power card. This is the card that represents the essential Libra energy. It is a cardinal air energy. Right? You are a cardinal air sign. This is a Libra power card. And I think that this is, this again is kind of showing the synchronicity. I feel like you're in tune with your true self. And I feel like this is you sort of rushing forward, just as we are here, mentally, emotionally on the same page, right? Cups, swords, heart, mind, emotions, thoughts, working in conjunction to build your best life. It's one thing to have the dream, oh, my happy life, and it's another thing to have the plan to build that. And you got that. I think you're very in tune with spirit, very in tune with yourself. The Wheel of Fortune is saying that luck is on your side right now, that your world is expanding. Now's the time for you to go outside of yourself and pursue something greater than you are. Pursue something meaningful. Pursue something big and great. Now's the time, okay, for you to expand your world. Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there is a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Libra Wednesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.